All right, so Saturday night, we saw an epic fight, once in a generation, only time this has happened in this century. An undisputed heavyweight title fight between Fury and Usyk was, of course, the winner. Almost stopped him in the 9th round in dramatic fashion. Oleksandr Usyk is an incredible inspiration to people all over the world and, of course, to his people in Ukraine that are going through a very, very tough time right now. So we're going to talk about the post-fight press conferences and what's next for both men, right? It was a close fight. Immediately after, Frank Warren was talking about a rematch. They're going to do it again.
Thought he won it by a couple of rounds. Tyson has said that he wants the rematch, so that's where there'll be an immediate rematch.
Tyson Fury's up for it. According to the contract, October, that is the date. But at the post-fight press conference, that is not what either man really wants right now. First of all, Tyson Fury said, listen, he's not showing a rematch. He wants to walk the dog, spend some time with his family, drink some beers, and go down the tip.
So we're going to go home, eat some food, drink a few beers, spend some family time, walk my dog, go to the tip, and me and Frank will talk about what's going to happen in the future.
The tip, if you're American, that is the junkyard. He wants to go down the junkyard. He wants to drop some old beds and mattresses off and do some regular shit. And I don't blame him, right? Because of the cut, remember, the fight was postponed. So it's 7 months. 7 months of training, 7 months of mental pressure, anxiety, just the fight looming over you and not being able to do your own thing. Oleksandr Usyk said the same thing. He said, listen, I have missed so many family things.
I missed Happy New Year. I missed birthday my son. I missed birthday my daughter. I missed born my daughter.
So a rematch right now, neither man is thinking about that. Of course, down the line it may materialize, but right now they just want to be normal people for a second. Oleksandr Usyk's going to go back to Ukraine. Of course, there's a lot of stuff going on there. He wants to spend some time with his family and inspire the people.
Because for me and my country, it's a big opportunity.
And who knows, maybe gets back on the front lines again, because that's the type of guy he is. At the post-fight press conference, he got very emotional speaking about his father that passed away. And, you know, I think we all had a new level of respect for Usyk when we see him like that.
Sometimes before a big fight, your dad would come and visit you.
I miss my father. I say my father, hey, listen, you live that, I live here. Please, no coming for me. I love you.
A man that was able to, you know, bare his soul. You know, listen, of course, when you're talking about loved ones, family members, parents, of course, it evokes that kind of emotion. You know, but to see a man that just went out there, that showed that kind of bravery, to go out there to beat the gigantic Tyson Fury, right? A man that was undefeated, to beat him and then be in tears at the post-fight press conference. The juxtaposition of being the brave warrior, but then also being an emotional, normal human being. It's nice to see. It really is beautiful to see. So, what's next? Well, first of all, Tyson Fury thought that he should have won that fight. He said that if my corner had have told me otherwise, I would have went out there and tried to finish the fight. People online are saying that the corner work was an absolute shambles because John Fury, no man alive, born from a woman, can beat my son. That might be the last time I ever say that, because I don't think we're ever going to hear John Fury say those words again. John Fury was screaming over the top of Sugar Lee, right? So your corner is sitting there getting conflicting advice.
Don't be afraid to slide in. Slide in. Quit pulling back or you're getting caught. Please call you. Box, now move like win these 2 rounds. Go.
You need a cool, calm, collected corner. The corner work for 60 seconds in a situation where the stakes are so high is absolutely vital. A lot of the time, they don't need to tell them how to box, but you need to calm their minds and you need to give them an accurate reflection of what is going on in the fight, and therefore go out there, spot 1 or 2 key little things. You can't have people shouting all over the place. That's absolute madness. When I was fighting in mixed martial arts, I had Jason Perillo, my lead guy. I had Brady Fink, who was my grappling coach. And he would give general thoughts on the fight, Jason Perillo, talk about some striking, and then speak to Brady if it was necessary. You can't have people just getting emotional and trying to be heard and be seen on camera. Of course, John Fury's his father and he's emotionally invested, but sometimes you gotta know your place. So people were saying the corner was a shambles, and he's saying that if I was told, Tyson Fury, that I was losing, I would have gone out there and tried to stop the fight. The reality is, I'm not trying to rip on Tyson Fury. He was trying to stop the fight the whole time. Nobody plans on going to the judges. Those uppercuts that he was throwing, they were deadly. I would have liked to have seen Tyson Fury follow up with a left hook, another right hand. to go again, to follow the momentum. There were certainly a couple of times where Usyk was a little bit rocked, and he never capitalized on those moments. So Fury blaming the corner to a certain degree there, but he did say he wants to take some time off. He didn't take back his comments on the Ukraine war. He said, listen, it was a close fight. It was a very close fight. We should both be very proud of ourselves. We put a show on for the fans. And that's true. However, it'd be a different tune if he'd won. He'd be saying, listen, I'm the undisputed. I'm the best ever. I always told you that. I always said that. John Fury did have his top off. No man alive, born of a woman, can beat my son, and all that stuff. I told you it'd be the last time. I lied. You might get it again. Now, regarding the comments on Ukraine, Frank Warren came out, and this was a good point from Frank Warren. He said, look, listen, footballers, they get to go back to the locker room, decompress, compose themselves, shower up before they make comments to the press. Fighters don't get that same luxury. They go from highly testosterone, adrenaline-filled situation, trying to kill one another in the ring, to all of a sudden having a microphone put in front of your face. And sometimes you let your emotions get the better of you. Sometimes the adrenaline is still flowing and you're hyped up and you're talking out of your mind. I've certainly been there. I've said things that I regret on a microphone. Tyson Fury should take back those comments. At that moment in time, he was full of adrenaline and he probably felt like he won. Afterwards at the press conference, you know, he could have maybe handled it a little bit different, but who cares, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They're only words. So, as I said, they're not thinking about a rematch right now. All right, so what are the options for both men going forward? Well, October, maybe, maybe not. Apparently, Usyk could potentially have a broken jaw.
If you can see my face, I'm pretty busted up, and he's gone to the hospital with a broken jaw, and he's busted too.
I don't think that he did. That was probably Tyson Fury just, loading up and bigging up his handiwork. He did crack him with some good uppercuts. However, October is only just around the corner, let's be honest. Oleksandr Usyk thinks it's September, December, October.
September, November, December.
October.
Oh, sorry.
No, he got that wrong. Coming back by October, that's a big ask. Certainly after everything they've just been through. But Tyson Fury has got to strike while the iron's hot. And there is a possibility that when the rematch does go down, it won't be for the undisputed title because the IBF right now is amongst all the other belts to fight the number one contender, Filip Hrgovic, okay? Mandatory, he has to fight him. He has to accept it within 2 weeks. If he doesn't do that, he will be stripped of the IBF title. And therefore, for the next fight, it will not be an undisputed championship. So perhaps if that happens, for Tyson Fury, it doesn't have the same kind of attraction for him. The attraction should be that Usyk is the only person to beat him, so therefore he wants to get that one back. And if he was to go out there and win, which I don't think he would in a rematch, but if he was to do that, then of course that would set up a rubber match down the line. So if he doesn't want to fight Oleksandr Usyk again in the meantime, find his mojo to have a comeback fight, it's a tough comeback fight, but there's Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, these two have been pretty much joined at the hip for the last decade.
What are these conversations you have with Joshua when you call him? Well, I call him and sometimes I say, what's happening, AJ? How are you, mush? That's usually what I say. And then we have a little bit of back and forth. Just think about it. You've got all these heavyweight champions and all these famous sports peoples in your phone. You have a couple of beers. What are you going to do?
And if this fight doesn't go down at some point, it'll be a travesty. It really will. And everybody wants to see that. So if he doesn't fight Usyk, then of course there's a fight with Anthony Joshua.
Someone's won by one.
But that's a tough one because if you lose this to Joshua, another fight with Usyk, forget about that, okay? Of course you could have a rematch with Francis Ngannou, right? We saw that fight. He won that fight. He scraped by that fight. He got dropped in that fight. He didn't give a good account of himself in that fight, and he kind of embarrassed himself in that fight against a guy that had only had one boxing fight. We saw what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou, so potentially there's another money fight down the line. And then, of course, there's retirement. Retirement might be an option for Tyson Fury. That might be the last time we see him. 35-1-1. It's a tremendous record. He's made a ridiculous amount of money. He's got 7 or 8 kids. That's not confirmed yet.
Tyson, you've earned all the money in the world that you need. You've got an 8th baby on the way. You proved yourself with the
That's
world.
not confirmed.
You told
8 babies not confirmed.
You proved yourself.
Not yet, anyway.
Of course, retirement is there. This man, Tyson Fury, has made a ridiculous amount of money. He doesn't owe anything to anybody. He's 35 years old. He's been there, done it, got the T-shirt. He's got hundreds of millions in the bank. He can go and live his life, drink some beers, hang out with the kids, go down the tip to the heart's extent. He could buy a few tips. He could buy a multitude of gypsy camps. He could do whatever the hell he wants for the rest of his life, make reality TV shows, and just enjoy life, because that's what he's worked for. And you know what? If he did that, absolute respect, a tip of the cap, an absolute legend, okay? But he's a fighting man. We are fighting men, after all, right? He's a fighting man, and that's going to eat away at his soul. The fact that he lost his last ever fight to Oleksandr Usyk. So my bet, my money would go on a rematch happening in Saudi Arabia once again, not in October, sometime around March next year. You got to go. You got to decompress. You got to forget all about fighting. Enjoy your family. Get over the loss mentally, because it will take a while to process. Now, granted, it was a split decision. One judge thought that he won. So there's a moral victory there. So to the press and to the public, you can talk and say, one judge thought I won. One judge thought I won. So therefore, in my mind, we're good. But when he goes home and you rest your head on that pillow at night, you know, the world knows that Oleksandr Usyk was the winner of that fight. And that is why fighters, when they have the money, they have the respect, they've got the career already in the bag, is why they continue to fight, because they're different. And like his father says, they are fighting men. So what do you think is going to happen next? What do you think about the comments? What do we think about Oleksandr Usyk in general? I mean, what a guy. Absolute respect to that man. Just a class act from start to finish. And it was nice to see him speaking a little bit at the post-fight presser. He said, listen, I didn't talk very much, and now I talk, okay? And he said, how do you feel?
I feel.
Love that guy. Would love to meet him one day. Absolute respect. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Ring the bell. I'll see you soon. Oh, by the way, no, I won't. Still in Costa Rica. I'm going to drive now to the other side of the island. We're checking out at this hotel, Nyara Springs. Okay, Nyara Springs, Costa Rica. I got to give them a special mention. This place has been phenomenal. Okay, if you're looking for a special trip with your loved one, if you're looking to get away from it all and disappear into the rainforest of Costa Rica and just get treated like a king, the Nyara Springs. Nyara Springs, Costa Rica, 5 stars, 10 stars, gold stars, stars all over the bloody place. Anyway, thanks again for watching. You guys take care. All the best.